Ibibhekene nezingqinamba eziningi kule minyaka edlule, from misuse of funds to administrative errors. Konke lokhu mbukeli kunciphisa ithemba labafundi ku-NSFAS nekuholela ekutheni batoyize at the end of the day. Joining us right now in studio namuhla mbukeli, we are joined by Accolade Motha, who also faced impediments when he was a student. Accolade, welcome to SABC1.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you know, when we started the show, we went through Voxes, we went to the streets, we spoke to young people. They were talking about different impediments and obstacles that they faced ngenxa ye-NSFAS. Ngicela mhlambe ungipendele isithombe ukuthi wena, what sort of impediments did you go through as a student?
Well, for me, my experience is a bit different in the sense that I was fortunate to get a response as soon as I get an acceptance, right, from the university. But people around me had different stories, of course, right? I have a friend of mine, he had to wait his cut. And then while waiting for him to be able to get registered, he had to with, okay, I have to get into school, right? And then the delay, of course, caused them I won't say depression and anxiety, but he wasn't really in his best.
Which was going to be my next point exactly. Uma ubheka abangani obuphila nabo at that time when you were a student and they were going through all these impediments, their psyche, just talk me through their psyche. How were they behaving at school? How did this affect them?
Right. Obviously, as people still are, we deal with things differently. Right. And then I won't speak on all of them, but those that were closest to me. Muntu out of the blue, you know, now resorting to these other habits, destructive habits, if you like. So there was that, and then there was also trying to balance education and trying to balance finding funds to because now they can't pay, right? So it was a very unstable ground to be on.
So when we were doing our research, we just found out that more than 400,000 applications went through to the University of Johannesburg. We are talking about the University of Johannesburg only. It received more than 400,000 applications. Do you think at this time, because we can see that NSFAS is under a lot of strain, do you think it's time that students, it's high time they start exploring other alternatives, they start looking for funding elsewhere? I mean, on the other segment, we did speak about, you know, looking at the private sector. Do you think it's time that the students, they go that route?
Definitely. I mean, it's always been that way. But I think because NSFAS is a government initiative, right? People have resorted to opting to apply to NSFAS for the funding alone and not really look into other sources of funding. But I think it's one thing to consider if someone is really looking into furthering their educational career. So NSFAS, yes, great. It's a government investment initiative, but also looking at private sectors because there's an abundance of funding from that perspective as well.
You studied behavioral sciences, right, at the University of Northwest. Now, when you were a student, did you at some point feel like the NSFAS funding was aligned to supporting students that have more potential to being hired out there? Because there are students that are studying arts and drama out there, and they feel left out. They feel like the funding scheme is, you know, putting abantu that are studying sciences phambili than other career courses. Do you believe that?
In the sense of how the economy is moving right now, I think there is more an incline towards funding career opportunities that are in demand in the economy right now. That is true because there are people who have those experiences of feeling excluded because of pursuing careers that are, I would say, are not much into the sciences. As you would say. It happens, but all in all, I think together with the previous point we just spoke on, with looking into alternative careers, and sometimes you can still practice the arts passionately and still be an amazing doctor. You know, I think certain things require one to be very open-minded in their optimism, right? You can be great in the arts, but you can also you're very great at science.
And you're good at engineering as well.
Exactly, you know.
Thank you so much, Accolade, for joining us.